about if someone just passes out? I'm gonna look at different scenarios. What if somebody just faints? You know how sometimes, I grew up Baptist, so people are always falling out in church, and I didn't, I'm not trying to be funny, but seriously, I don't know if it was hot or if it was really the spirit, but it would happen and we would see people faint. So that's not a cause for CPR, is it? If somebody, how do you know if they fainted from whatever, or they're really having a cardiac arrest or something similar to that?
Well, they pass down and they're not breathing, they're not responding, and you try and get their attention and they're not responsive, then you can assume that they are passed out. And we tell people, you know, you want to tap and shout. In reaching, I tell people you do it hard enough, because sometimes people are passed out and they're either hard of hearing or they don't feel very well. But again, once you check there, you listen if you hear breath sounds or you see any chest rise. At that point, if you don't, then you probably want to go ahead and do start your CPR. The rule of thumb is it's better to give CPR to someone that doesn't need it than to not give to someone who does need it. Because you can bet if you're pushing down 2 inches on someone's chest continuously, they're going to say ouch. If they're responsive, absolutely. So.
And I know when you say look and make sure that they're breathing, and with my babies, I used to do it all the time. I don't know if any moms and dads used to do that, and I don't know what I would do if they didn't, but I would always, if they were too quiet or too still, I'd be like, okay, Lord, I want to see that chest rise. Am I the only one that did that? Did you guys ever do that? Y'all did? Okay, good. I don't feel so bad. But I did. I would just, I don't know why. I guess a new mom and all that good stuff. But now, because there's that sudden infant death syndrome, what do you do if it's a child that's not breathing, that's unconscious?
Well, the difference in children and adults, an infant is from birth to age 1, and then a child is from 1 to age puberty. Typically, if an infant or a child passes out, it's usually for respiratory reasons. Whereas, like I said earlier, if a teen or an adult passes out, it's usually for cardiac reasons. So, when you think about an infant or a child and you see them pass out, it's probably for respiratory, which means that you need to quickly get some breaths into that person, because again, they can't breathe. So, if you happen to have witnessed that child pass out, then you know how long they've been out. So you go ahead and call 911 first, and then you come back to do the compressions. However, if you did not witness them pass out, so that means you don't know how long they've been passed out. At that point, you want to go ahead and do 5 cycles of CPR compressions on that child or infant, because you need to, again, circulate that oxygen. And once you do 5 cycles, then at that point, you stop and you go call 911, and then you come back and resume your CPR.
It's so many questions, because I know do you have to continue? I got to let you go because we got another segment, but you know how they say you have to keep it going until the paramedics get there, but what if the person starts breathing on their own? I guess you know to stop, right?
Yeah, if they start breathing on their own, then you stop.
That's when you stop.
And you stay with them, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us a phone number and a website?
Absolutely. You can reach the CPR crew at 901-626-5737. The website would be www.thecprcrew.com.
All right, everybody, give it up for Miss Nurse Loretta McNary. You're right back in the store there.
The Africa Channel, the only 24/7 television network featuring culturally rich programming about Africa and the diaspora in HD, with a lineup of award-winning programs as diverse as Africa itself.
Let music be the weapon. Music will no longer be of love, no longer of happiness or pleasure. Our music and our words must all be about the reality of Africa today.
Parade.
I got a penthouse in Manhattan.
Growing up in Africa, Purple Rain for me, that album was their watershed moments in musical history.
Are you hot? No. Do you know why? Why? 'Cause you're cool.
Let's get some stuff straight right now. All Africans don't know each other.
What are we doing to make sure that these young Africans grow up in a society that can be better than it is today?
Toilet paper. Because I did not have access to any other paper.
I have a child.
Expand your world with a daily window into modern Africa and the African diaspora. The Africa Channel in HD. where Africa comes alive.
We are happy that so many of you could make it out tonight.
With us, and as you can see, we have changed guests, same show, same day, but we've changed guests because this is another person and company that's great about Memphis. Everybody, welcome to the show, Ms. Brana Pinola. Now, she does so many things, but she's an attorney. Of course, she's a mom and a wife, and she's an attorney. She's an author. She has a book, Women, Money, and Cheesecake, that she co-wrote with two other fabulous women, and she's a speaker. She's a writer, teacher. So much stuff. But what we're here today to talk about, because I've been trying to get her on the show for a while, she can tell us how to take control of our finances. For those who are shopaholics and those who are those emotional buyers, we're gonna kind of help, especially women, and it'll help me too. So everybody, pay close attention. So what was so fascinating for you that you wanted to not only be an attorney, but to talk about finances? Because you're also a financial advisor.
Well, I was a financial advisor for several years, and I was frustrated, along with my co-authors, we were frustrated by the fact that there really wasn't great information out there for women. It was kind of, let's say the same things and slap a picture of a woman with a baby or a woman in an executive suit, and then we'll say this is our stuff for women. So we wanted to come up with a new way of talking about money for women, and we thought, what do women like? Well, one of the things that we like, aside from shopping and taking care of our families and doing all the other millions of things that we do, is most of us really like cheesecake. So we started thinking about having workshops with cheesecake, and so Women, Money, and Cheesecake was born.
And so when they were doing the workshops, they actually had cheesecake at the workshops. You know, I would go. I would definitely go.
Yes, I had to stop that after a while.
I know, because then we're coming for the cheesecake, and then we still don't know how to manage our finances. So tell us something.
I was eating leftovers.
We're having a good time, but we're not learning anything. You know, women, we're like this sometimes. We have to take a break, we do so much. But anyway, kind of tell us the basis behind, because you said the sweet truth about you and your money. I need to know the truth about me and my money.
Well, the truth about money is that it's much easier to take control of your finances than it seems. Many of us think about money as very hard, very complex, something only for rich people to deal with. But the philosophy of this book is just like cheesecake. It's really as easy as 1, 2, 3. Getting control of money is really simple. It's really simple, and it's really for everybody, not just the wealthy.
Okay, so just tell me, how do I take control? Because right now my money controls me.
Well, yes, right. I think that's true for a lot of us, is that we live from paycheck to paycheck, and we're just happy if we've made it to the end of the week or the month, and we haven't gone further down the tubes than we were before. So, of course, the very basic things are understanding what we have coming in and what we have going out, because when it comes down to it, there are only 3 things you can do with money. What are they?
Earn it, save it, and spend it.
Spend it, yes, spend it.
So what are your 3?
Spend it, save it, or give it away.
Oh yeah, that one, so I got 4.
This is the after you've earned it segment.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That's just like a given, it just happens, it just flows right out of my hand.
So it's really just about deciding of those 3 things, spending it, saving it, or giving it away, where we want, what bucket, in a way, do we want to put our money into? And a lot of us, it's decided because we have to spend so much of it. But if we make a commitment to saving first, which I know a lot of our parents probably told us that, and we didn't listen. And if we do make that commitment to saving first, then we do find it becomes easier to meet our goals.